Yes, all right, I am recording. This is Living and Moving in Atlanta. I'm driving around today, helping some people from out of state get to know Atlanta and look for a home. So we're driving around, and so what I want to think about was, hey, getting to know a neighborhood right before you buy a home and why that is so incredibly important. And as always, today's episode is brought to you by not Dunkin' Donuts, but caffeine. That being said, so why is it important to get to know an area, right? Like you found this home you love, but you know nothing about the neighborhood. That could be bad news, right? So let's start with, hey, you're not just buying a home. You are buying a lifestyle, right? You're buying what's going on, things to do, places to go, quality of life, right? You could buy the most amazing home in the middle of nowhere, and that does you really no good if you are an active person and want to get out and do things, right? So, just ran that? No, I didn't run that. The light was still yellow. Anyway, so going into that, hey, you're buying a lifestyle, right? You're buying what's going on. Well, I just kind of touched on point number 2, like location matters, right? Like it absolutely matters. Come on. People in Atlanta don't like to be friendly. I'm gonna give them the wave anyway. Thank you very much. So yeah, your location impacts your daily routine, right? How close are you to grocery stores, school, the gym? What are the things you'd like to do in life that are important to you? So you really want to pay attention to that. And yeah, you found that great home, but drive the area. Make sure, this does fit your routine. If there's not a grocery store that you like anywhere nearby, then you're going to have to adjust some things, right? Next is, every neighborhood can absolutely have its own personality. And that's hard to get to know that until you move in. However, you can park in the neighborhood, take a walk, right? In the neighborhood, see what it's like. Maybe you meet some of the people in the community as you're walking around. That's great. You drive around, go to different parts of town too, see how friendly people are. I think that is just kind of helpful when it comes to finding a place to live. Hey, this is a big one right here. Future appreciation starts with the neighborhood. One of the things I tell all of my clients as we're driving into a neighborhood, I'm looking at everything, I'm paying attention to a mile out. I mean, really more than a mile out. If I know the area, I'm not paying that close of attention. But if I go to an area I'm not as familiar with it, I'm looking at everything. Like looking at surrounding areas. One of my parents, they were buying in Athens from out of state, and they put an offer on a home. They came down for an inspection, and the real estate agent failed to notify them that there was a enormous pawn shop directly across the street from the entrance to the neighborhood. There was only one entrance to the neighborhood, and this, multi-acre pawn shop, barbed wire fence all around it, was just not the neighborhood they were looking to live in, and the realtor failed to disclose that to them when they put the offer on the home. I would have fired the real estate agent on the spot. I told my father he should have. He did not, so that was a little frustrating. That being said, so yeah, the neighborhood matters for future appreciation, right? Are people taking care of their homes? What is the curb appeal of the homes in the neighborhood? Are the homes in the neighborhood falling apart? The siding, the roof, right? All those things you want to pay attention to when it comes to the condition of your home and the potential future appreciation. If you're not paying attention to those things, it could cost you money in the long run. And you want an agent who's going to pay attention to those items and help point those items out to you, right? Not just put you in a home because they're about to make their compensation on a $700,000 home. So, hey, amenities, right? Amenities in the neighborhood, they affect your quality of life. One of my clients, this client that I'm searching with today, they want a swim and tennis club. That's very important to them for the neighborhood that we're searching, right? So, to find that swim and tennis club, you may not want to be inside the perimeter on smaller lots. Like, you need to be in a neighborhood that's got the space to support, that kind of lifestyle and that kind of community. So those, you got playgrounds for the kids if you have kids, or parks. What matters to you is incredibly important. So driving around, searching those things when you find the neighborhood you like is just another important item to consider when shopping for a home. Hey, the next tip is that neighbors can absolutely affect your quality of life. You love the home. It's amazing. But there's no real HOA in this neighborhood, and the neighbors got 8 cars on the lot. They're not fixed up. They don't take care of the lawn. There's junk everywhere. How's that going to affect your quality of life in the long run? And that's a sad fact of life. You might want to say, love the home, everything seems perfect, but this neighborhood, neighbor 2 doors down, right? Again, that's when I talked about walking the neighborhood. Taking a walk, driving around, see if the neighbors are friendly, or maybe you're antisocial. Hey, that's fine. Do what you want to do, what works for you, but neighbors can absolutely affect your quality of life, especially if you're in a townhome. If you're in a townhome or a condo where everybody's a lot closer, you get to know each other probably a little bit more. Hey, this is a big one to pay attention to. Schools affect more than families with children. This is truth, right? If you don't have kids and you're not as concerned with the school system, great. But if you buy into a good school district, then you're going to have better resale value down the road, right? School districts tend not to change overnight. So 3 to 5 years, whatever your long-term plan is, 5 to 10 years, what's been the history of the school district you're moving into? Has it been historically a great school district? Then it's probably going to stay a great school district. So really pay attention to that. Is so important when it comes to finding a home. I can't stress that one enough. What happens outside the property line really matters as well, right? We're talking about getting to know a neighborhood. What happens, what is in there? What kind of developments are going in the neighborhood? Is there a lot of construction? Are you in a mature area? I have a client, friend of mine, who has a home in an area that's developing, and they're looking to put a concert venue pretty much directly behind his home. He's the back side of the community, so there was nothing but land behind his home. Thought he was safe, and now there's a possible concert venue going 100 yards away. So that is something to pay attention to as well. So honestly, if you want expert knowledge about a community, experience it. That's what it boils down to. Drive around a neighborhood. Go out to eat at the local restaurants. Maybe have some lunch. Go to a local coffee shop, right? What's in the neighborhood? What's in the grocery store? Walk around the grocery store. That's really going to help you get to know the place that you are considering buying a home. And here's another one. Hey, if you're looking to buy a home in Atlanta, check out the ATL Tour, because that's my other channel where we just go. It's mostly lifestyle, right? A little bit of real estate in there, but we get around and we explore restaurants, neighborhoods, experiences, help people get to know Atlanta. That way, if you're moving from out of state, it can help you find the place you want to live. So all that being said, if you need help buying or selling a home anywhere in Atlanta, give me a call, send me an email. I prefer the voice-to-voice contact, right? I'd like to have that voice-to-voice conversation, get to know your long-term real estate goals and dreams, and help you find a contractor, roofer, right? Help you take care of your home once you own that home. Hopefully you like that shameless plug for my other channel, the ATL Tour, which I work super hard on. So all that being said, I'm Tony Deutsch with Living and Moving in Atlanta and Legacy and Lifestyle Collective. Oh yeah, in Keller Williams Atlanta perimeter. This is Living and Moving in Atlanta. Bang.